Time for the opening day of the season. We've got the nonsense of that Liverpool offer out of the way. We've got lots of transfers through the door, and hopefully we can go into this season and not concede as many goals, because really the attacking side of things hasn't been a problem. It's just been that leaky back line. So with all of that said, welcome to season 3 of Club 3. How you doing, everybody, and welcome to part 15 of Club 3 of My Career here on FM23. I'm Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video, where we have got the first 2 games of the Premier League season. It's Sheffield United away from home and Leeds United at home. And if you are excited to see how we do in those games, do not forget to leave a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the nonsense coming out of this space right here. I've literally stopped recording and then hit record, so it is pretty much a continuation on from the end of the last video, so nothing has happened, and this is the 11 we're going to be going into the Sheffield United game with, so let's just jump right in, shall we? It is Hoyenhal in goal, Jimenez, Cresswell, Badiashile and Nuri in defence, Lavia and Tamara in the midfield, with Price, Veloso and Shelderup in the support of Gardner up front. Remember, we do have the injury to Pinamonti, Thomas is suspended, and Feta, our new loan signing, also injured too. Other than that, it's a clean bill of health, and that is the 11 we're going to go with. So let's just get into the game, shall we? And let's see whether we can pick up 3 points from this first game against Sheffield United. I'm trying to think whether Sheffield United got promoted last season or not, and whether this is their first game. I cannot remember off the top of my head. I can't remember playing them, but my memory isn't always the best, if I'm being honest. If we click on them and just double check, how did they do in the league last season? They've been a Premier League team for ages. So, no, we did play them last year. I just forgot. So, that's a great start to do. Well done. Pat on the back. But hopefully, we can get into this game and we can get 3 points. That's my hope. That's my desire. Let's see whether we can do it, shall we? Let's get that league table up and just double check how things are going. So a bunch of teams have already played or are currently playing. For some reason, we've got the friendlies up. We don't want that. We want the Premier League. We've started off pretty well, apparently. No highlights just yet, but we have had a number of chances. So have they, and theirs have been more on target than ours have. And Hoyenhal looks like he is having to work so far in this game. First highlight goes to Sheffield United, though. Cresswell heads it clear, looking to get it to Veloso. Veloso flicks it on, looking for Nuri, who can't quite get there. Sheffield United putting the pressure on, probably angry that I forgot that they were in the Premier League for the last 2 seasons. Iheanacho, their new signing, is in there. Cresswell does really well to take the ball from him, though, and clears it. Looking for Tommy Gardner, can't quite find him. But Shelderup, I'm going to get that name right as much as I can. Shelderup gets the ball, runs over to the right, plays it through to Tommy Gardner, and Tommy Gardner makes it 1-0. What a wonderful move. I really hope it's not been disallowed for an offside. I will be gutted, because that was such a great counter-attacking move there. And hopefully it hasn't been disallowed, and it has not been. We get the goal. Shelderup does really well. Gets it, cuts in from the left all the way over to the right-hand side. Stays in the middle a little bit, just to the right, and then plays a perfectly timed ball. There's enough players there causing confusion, and all of a sudden, we lead by a goal to 0. In there, boys, come on! Yes! Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that quite a bit. Don't see stinking offside. Right, good old boys, good start. Let's get another, shall we? And it looks like we have got a free kick here. Yes, we do. Shelderup is just positioning it here, taking it, as we do not have ball press on the pitch, and Price just heads it over, unfortunately. So no second goal immediately, but I would like a second goal in this first half. That would make me very happy. Right, Sheffield United looking to come back here. Iheanacho drops deep, looking to get the ball moving, gets it out wide. Soppy now looking to get the ball in. He's going to go for the shot, he's going to wait for the cross. He's waiting for the cross, and Hoyenhal holds on to it pretty well. I'm not going to say too much about Hoyenhal. All I'll say is I would have expected Lunin to stuff that up. Cresswell now over to Jimenez. Jimenez out to Price. Price looking for options now. Cuts back inside, running into the midfield, looking for options. What a ball that is. And it's gone to Shelderup. Shelderup has gone and scored his debut goal. He's got an assist and a goal in his first appearance. That's all do. That's what was it £50 million? I think it was £50 million. That's what £50 million approximately gets you. What a ball this is from Price as well. I was convinced he was looking for Tommy Gardner. And actually, I think Gardner's run did really, really well to distract the defender for Shelderup to just run in there and just tap it into the back of the net. I wanted 2 goals in the first half. We've got 2 goals in the first half. 2-0 to Southampton. Get in there, boys. Starting to be really, really happy that we didn't leave for Liverpool now. I'm really happy that that didn't happen, because honestly, we'd have had a good time at Liverpool, but I felt like we still had a bit to do at Southampton. I feel like, unless we've got a third. Charlie Cresswell, and his shoulder up, he's just running the show on his debut. I do think the thing that will stop me from staying Southampton beyond this season is reputation. We need to get to 4.5-star reputation this season, because the amount of players I've looked at who, with the amount of money we've had to spend this season, we could have afforded, the amount of those players who we've gone in for who weren't interested because of our reputation has been painful to me. So we really need to do something about that. And the only thing we can do is win stuff. We have got a couple of players. One of them I think is Liverpool. I can't remember who the other one is, but there's a couple of players who are adamant, and I must have promised it to them, that we are going to win a trophy this season, a domestic trophy. So the FA Cup, EFL Cup, they have to be priorities this year. We cannot put them seconds. We do need to do well in them. I think we might have got a fourth here. We have. It's James Price. Excellent. And it's Shelderup again. He's involved in everything at the moment. We've signed a gem here. We've signed an absolute gem. Like, Nori gets it into him, and it's a deflected cross, admittedly, but Price is there to meet it anyway, and we go and make it 4. So yeah, we do need to win something, I think, to get that reputation up. If we can't get it above 4 stars this season, we might have to consider moving on at that point. Because I think we'll have taken the club as high as we can with the players available to us. I think we've played a couple of blinders in the transfer market in this window. Let's wait for this move to finish. There we go. Yeah. 4-1. One of those players I was going to say was Badiashile, and he's gone and just done that. And what I mean by done that is, I think you'll see it just here. Yeah. Blind header backwards. I mean, to be fair, you could probably blame Tamara on that one. He probably should have tracked back a bit more. I mean, 4-1, it's not the end of the world. I'm a little bit disappointed because you know how I feels about my defence, but Badiashile has actually taken the blame for that one on the system, on the game. I think it might work then. Shelderup is on fire. The Norwegian powerhouse of a winger has just gone and made it 5-1. Not even half time yet. Gets it out wide. I mean, I'm thinking there's no way he's scoring a goal from here. He's going to cross it in. Cuts inside, keeps running, blasts it at the keeper. Muric can't stop it. 5-1. Well, what a start that is. My point that I was trying to make was that I think we've played a blinder with a couple of our signings. One of them definitely Shelderup, and the other one I was going to say was Badiashile. We are going to just demand more from him because he's had a very poor start. He's on a 6.2 so far, so I think his time is coming to be pulled off the pitch by the scruff of the neck. But yeah, I was going to say we have played a blinder in this transfer window with those guys. And I do think Badiashile will come good eventually. He's just having a particularly poor start at the moment. But we can't do that every season. Like, we've got lucky, I think, in this transfer window that we've got such good players in. I don't think we can rely on that happening every year. Badiashile's got to come off. I mean, I'm starting to regret saying he's a good signing, to be honest, because he's had such a poor game. Lavia's not played particularly well either, which is frustrating. However, I mean, at the end of the day, we're winning. That's the main thing that matters. Lavia is allowed to have a poor game every now and then. Right, Cresswell gets to Lavia. Jimenez now. Back to Cresswell. Into Tamara. We've not seen much from him all game. Goes to Price now. Price into Veloso. Lovely move, but Veloso just doesn't sprint onto it, which is a concern. I am thinking if Fujiara, the attacking midfielder who we signed at the beginning of last season or the season before, I can't remember when we signed him, but the wonder kid attacking midfielder who looks superb. He's been superb in pre-season, by the way. Gardner's gone and got another one there. Oh, that's superb. And I think it's Shelderup again. I'm going to keep saying his name differently. Shelderup. He has. He's gone and done it again. I think it's an assist from him. Watch this. I mean, this header is superb. Like, Nuri goes out wide to Shelderup. Shelderup just bides his time, cuts inside. What a cross that is. And from the penalty spot, just drills it in. That's a thing of beauty. Right. Badiashile coming off. He's not had a good game. It's going to have to be Antonio Silva who comes on. I don't mind that. However, he does prefer to play on the right-hand side. But he is also a left-back. So he's just going to have to deal with that, quite frankly. I'm sure he'll do a decent job. He certainly couldn't be worse than Badiashile. I think Badiashile will be fine. We've had a few players who've had poor starts who've then gone on to better things. And to be fair, we cut that one mistake that he made out. And we've had a superb game here today, to be fair. Kuchiyara's the player I was on about. And I think Veloso, with the stats he's got, could make a half-decent box-to-box midfielder. So if we decide Kuchiyara's too good to leave out of the team, we could already have the answer in Joe Veloso, which kind of feels ridiculous to say. Right, we're going to bring on Tino. Just give him a little bit of football. And I'm debating one more change just to get someone else on the pitch. I think we'll bring on Diego Tapia, actually. Let's give him a game. He's come back. Hopefully he's going to settle into that ball-winning midfielder role a little bit easier than he did before. Remember, when we first had him, that's the position he didn't settle in. But he has had a season away from the club, hopefully playing in that position. I can't actually remember whether he did or not. I conceded another goal. I mean, with six goals scored for ourselves, I don't mind too much that we've conceded to, but I mean, Hoyenhal's going to let himself down a little bit there. Remember, he was very, very good at Lazio last season, so I'm expecting more from him. But our goal scoring there, definitely the thing that carried us through. But I do think we do need to tell you two that you didn't play very well. But the rest of the team, I think, stepped up there and did exactly the job that we needed of them. Good start. Good start indeed. Back for the second game of the season, and let's hope we can keep that momentum from that 6-2 win against Sheffield United up in this game against Leeds United. And here is the 11 we're hoping to do that with. It's Hoyenhal in goal, Jimenez, Cresswell, Antonio Silva and Nuri in defence. We've got Romeo Lavia and Alan Tamara still in the midfield with Price, Veloso and Schelderup. I'm going to keep getting that wrong for a while. Price, Veloso and Schelderup supporting Gardner up front. Let's get into the game, shall we, and see if we can do what we did last time, only without conceding goals. I've got a feeling I know the answer to that one already, but we'll give it our best shot. Schelderup in the last game was sensational. He literally contributed in every single goal. 2 goals for himself, 4 assists for the rest of the team. Man was a machine. Let's see if he can do that at home in his first home game. Fingers crossed he can. Worth pointing out, Badiashile. I am trying to train him to no longer tight mark. I didn't realise he has tight marking as a trait. I think I knew he did at some point, but I misplaced that information. It explains a lot about his performance in that last game. Fingers crossed we can take it off of him, and hopefully he will be able to recover from having that as a trait. If we can't take it off of him, it's going to be a problem. But again, I know I've mentioned it before. Memories on FM20... I think it was FM20, or it was 20 or 21, I can't remember, but memories of Fikayo Tomori for my Aston Villa team just being absolutely useless because of it. But then the second we got it trained off of him, he ended up being a world-class central defender. So my fingers are crossed that we've caught it early enough that we'll be able to get it gone as soon as possible. We had a great opportunity there from James Price, but he did put it wide, and we are now having to defend from Leeds. Leeds are a solid team in this game. They are a bit of a bogey team for us, so fingers crossed we can defend against them quite well. Hoyenhal does well to gather the ball there. Looking for a good performance from him. Was it last season? I think it was last season. We started off with him. We had a couple of ropey games, and then we gave up on him very quickly. I haven't got the backup to do that this time. I do have money to be able to buy a new goalkeeper. £50 million and 300,000 in the wage budget. But obviously, we don't necessarily want to rely on having to bring in a new goalkeeper, because then we've got Sam Roberts to deal with. He's good enough to be a backup at this point. You could argue he probably should be playing first-team football somewhere else, just to get him in. Oh, we're so unlucky there to not get the goal, get the ball in the back of the net for a goal. We're going to have another corner here, though, and hopefully we can get the ball onto the head of someone tall. Let's see whether Schelderup. I'm going to... Oh, God. At some point, I'm going to bail out, and I'm just going to call him by his first name. Don't want to do that, but at some point I will. Schelderup did really well with those corners there. Just couldn't quite get it in right. Veloso whipping it in, looking for Price. Price with the header, but Trubin makes the save. Well done on Trubin there. We're doing well. We're having chances. Schelderup actually not having a good game so far, but he's got magic in him that I just believe he can just do something. After one game, that's the confidence he's giving into me. But we have got options on the bench, worst case, as well. Right, Itter can't get the ball forward. Jimenez gets it instead. Cresswell now into Tamara. Tamara looking for options. Gets it forward to Price. Price looking to pass the ball on. Runs with it instead, though. Gets it to Schelderup. Schelderup out wide tight. Nuri. Nuri now looking for options himself. Gets it into Veloso. And Veloso makes it 1-0 in the 21st minute. Yes, boys. Get in there. 1-0 we lead. And it is Joe Veloso, who is under a bit of pressure. The last friendly game. I tend to play the last friendly game in pre-season. I always tend to do it. And My word, Kushiara, the player who we brought in last season and sent back out on loan. Oh my word. It was against a really poor team. We won 19-0. It was against that level of team. It was a poor performance from them. They're not a very good team. But my word, he ran the show. It was like shoulder up in the last game. He was superb. And it just puts a bit of pressure on Veloso. Because Veloso came on, had a decent game, but didn't have anywhere near the same impact. So I'm intrigued to see just how well he will do in this team when he gets a few more chances. Obviously, he came on for a little bit in the last game. He might come on for a few minutes today. But it's important that Veloso has someone to push him into better performances. We might even today... I might be getting ahead of myself here. If we get another couple of goals, we might push Veloso into the midfield and just see whether he can cope in that. I think he can. I genuinely think he can. We're going to tell Tommy Gardner to calm down. Shoulder up. We're going to tell him that he can do better because we saw in the last game he absolutely can. And let's get into the second half, shall we? And let's see whether we can get another goal. I'd like to think we can get at least 2 more goals in this game with how we've performed so far because we have looked really good. Right, Price. Looking for options, goes out to Veloso. Veloso now has the ball, looking to get it in the middle, looking for Gardner, and Gardner just taps it in. And we know at this point, from both of the seasons that we've had, that Tommy Gardner, if he has the chance, if he has the service, he's got a great ratio of putting the ball in the back of the net. I say great ratio, I don't think it is that good, but we know he can put the ball in the back of the net is the point I'm getting at. And when Pinamonti's down, we can count on him, and Price as well, to put the ball into the back of the net with little fuss. And he's relied on a little deflection there, but you know what? Maybe he meant it. Maybe he meant to hit it against the player to offset the goalkeeper and confuse him a bit. But it is 2-0. That I want. Veloso's actually very tired at this point, so we might not be able to use him as the box-to-box because it just kill him, quite frankly. I think we're going to make an early change here, and I think it is going to be Veloso coming off. Kushiara can have a bit of football as well. Price and Tommy Gardner both on yellow cards. I don't really want to risk both of them. But Shelderup has not recovered from his poor start. So I think we'll... Do we leave it or do we... Tell you what, Jay Leathan. Come and have some football. You've earned it, mate. You've earned it. Come on. Come on. Get rid of that yellow card. Let's get Jay Leathan on. Jay Leathan looked really good in that last friendly as well. So... I'm hoping he can kind of step up and continue doing that today. Shoulder up has recovered a bit, but he is tiring. Jimenez looks like he's picked up a knock as well. And we've blasted through this last period of the game, and I've kind of not realised. So there's an injury to Jimenez. We're not going to risk him. We're going to make another change. In fact, we've got 2 more changes left we can make. Shoulder up will keep on. Leathan hasn't really played that well. I think Tamara's had a good game. We're going to bring him off and rest him. Lewis Murray can come on. As frustrated as I am that his ability has dropped down so much, we do need to get him some football. And I really should bring Ward-Prowse on, but Tapia can come on for the final few minutes as well. And we'll go with those as our final 3 changes. And we'll just try and see out the game here. 2-0, we're looking good, we're looking sharp. We've had a lot of chances in the game. I'd like a third. You know what I'm like, I like goals. So if we can get a third, I'd be delighted. If we stick at 2-0, I'll be equally as delighted, to be honest. Right, Livramento, it's a poor header from him. And we give Leeds United the ball back. And we possibly give them a chance. No, Murray gets the ball off of Cresswell's interception. But it's a poor ball forward, actually. A bit disappointing. Kushiara, I was expecting a little bit more from him in terms of his movement there. And Sinstera is in. And you think it's going to be a conceded goal here. And Hoyenhal makes an absolutely sensational save. And it remains 2-0. I feel like that's in the category that the like of... what's his name? The like of Pickford and Ramsdale get put into when it's, you know, it's a simple save, but it's made to look spectacular. That was a simple save, really, but it looked really good. Very happy Hoyenhal made it. Right, Tapia, big ball forward, looking for Gardner. He's found Gardner, you know. He's found him, and Gardner just puts it over. That's the one frustrating thing about Tommy Gardner. He does sometimes go for little chips like that, and it is slightly unnecessary. Shoulder up and Leathan have both had poor games. In fact, the only winger who we've had on the pitch who's had a good game was James Price. But the rest of the honestly, the rest of the team have done well. So obviously, the way to go today was go through the middle, and the players we've got on the pitch obviously did the job well. Right, that sorry, Tino, we need to have a chat about that sliding tackle, mate. I had to just click to find out who made that sliding tackle because it was just a thing of absolute beauty in all of the wrong ways. Right. I don't really like the fact they've got so much possession here. Oh, really? Really? I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed in that. What did I want more than anything? A clean sheet. And Livramento's done poorly there. Tapia hasn't done well either. He's not covered himself in glory. Despite starting off really well. He had a worldie of a pass. I'm not that bothered about the fact that we've only going to win by 1 goal. I'm more concerned about the fact we've conceded yet another goal. And it's another goal that Hoyenhal's conceded. 3 goals in 2 games is not a great ratio. And it's not against teams who we should be conceding against as well. Granted, I will say, we have a very attacking formation. Our left back's not our normal left back. And we have got a lot of new players who are still getting used to the team. Shelderup has just gone and recovered. I had to really think about his name now. Shelderup has gone and recovered and made it 3-1. I'm very happy about that. He's now got 3 games in 2. 7 goal contributions in 2. Well, I'm disappointed about conceding that goal. I am very disappointed about conceding that goal. However, in the grand scheme of things, we have gone and won the game. And we've won our first 2 games. And that'll probably put us near the top. Yes, it does. Newcastle are the only team who are ahead of us. 5-1 today. They probably did very well in their last game as well. Got Makoko in there. I mean, Newcastle's team is utterly ridiculous. It really is. But that is a great start to the season. Veloso answering the question I had towards the end of last season, to be fair. Kuchiyara, we know, has been very good in pre-season, as I've mentioned. So it's important that he has a good performance, to be fair. And he did have one there. So gotta say, from the first couple of games, I'm quite happy about that. Concerned about our goalkeeping, if I'm honest, as I have been for some time. I'm going to resist the urge to make a decision on that now. I'm going to wait until we get to deadline day. And then we'll make a decision on whether we need to do something about it. Because he could recover and he could be superb. Remember, he's not played a full season for us at all. He's only had a handful of games. In fact, let's just confirm how many games he's actually had for us. Hoyenhal has played 6 times for Southampton and has conceded 11 times. It doesn't look great when you look at it like that. To be fair, his ratio is already better than it was in his first season with us. So, I mean, to a point, yeah. But point being, he could still come good. Maybe. Okay, we've not had the Champions League draw yet, so I'm not 100% sure when we're going to be back. We're probably going to go all the way through September, and it'll be the usual October-November period we will come back for. And we'll see what games will fall around that period. So, until then, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you have enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like on there for me, and subscribe so you don't miss any of the content to come in the future. I've been Stu, you guys have been awesome, and I will catch you in the next video. Cheers.